So this review is going to be spoiler free. However, some of you are very sensitive and don't want to hear anything about the film until you've actually gone to see it. So if that's you, stop this video now.
We will say this, go see this movie. Hey everyone, so we're back today with another movie review, and today we're going to be reviewing Logan. Pretty much just saw the movie, and wow. We're still kind of reeling from it, even it's been a couple days, but it's a fantastic send-off for Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, and maybe for Patrick Stewart as Charles Xavier.
I don't know. I don't know if he signed on to do any more appearances as Professor Charles Xavier. I haven't really read up too much on it. I haven't seen anything that would indicate that this is his last go-around, but if it is, it was a fantastic way to go out.
Yeah. One thing I definitely didn't expect in this movie is just the emotional weight that's present throughout the entire film. I guess I was kind of expecting the standard kind of X-Men, like, film structure of like a kind of a bad thing happens, and then in the middle of it there's this emotional moment, and then they kind of get over it. But the entire movie is just one gut punch after another gut punch.
Oh yeah, it definitely made you feel all the feels throughout the entire runtime of the movie. The whole time you were emotionally relating to the characters or feeling for the characters in some way, shape, or form, whether it was anger, disdain, happiness, empathy. They just did a great job of like pulling you in emotionally.
That's something that kind of the other X-Men movies have struggled with, is just making any of the characters feel really grounded and like there's real stakes. And this movie does a fantastic job of that.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. Throughout the entire X-Men franchise, it never felt like there were any real stakes. The heroes got in trouble, but you knew they were going to kind of make it out. Logan takes a very different approach to it, and it's pretty refreshing. The last X-Men movie that got good reviews was Days of Future Past. So we're going to go ahead and compare Logan to this movie. And one of the biggest standouts is that they have the exact opposite tone. Whereas Days of Future Past, we had that what we were referring to earlier about it felt like there was no real stakes. Logan, it felt like everything was at stake.
Since Logan does have a very consistent dark tone throughout, those moments of levity that you get throughout the film are much more relieving, and they hit the mark a bit better than any other X-Men movie to date.
As expected, Logan is action-packed. Probably the most, or at the very least the best action out of any X-Men film in the franchise to date. It's violent, and I mean bloody violent. I don't want to get into too much detail, but it was very satisfying as a lifelong Wolverine fan to see Wolverine do what he can actually do.
The R rating really kind of bolsters just what this movie can do, and even the violence, it's like a bonus to the story.
Yeah, absolutely.
The story parts are the best bits, and just having that R-rated, finally gory, bloody violence is just kind of icing on the cake.
Yeah, absolutely. This is the Wolverine movie that we have been waiting for. Nay, the Wolverine movie that we deserve.
Our biggest and only gripe with this movie is that it makes certain references to events in other X-Men movies that are confusing considering the events of Days of Future Past. Days of Future Past was a movie that was made in order to reset the universe of the X-Men films. That being said, they never exactly went over which parts of the X-Men films happened in this new timeline and which didn't. Obviously, Jean turning into the Phoenix didn't happen because she's alive at the end of Days of Future Past. But then you don't really know, well, the events of X-Men 1 happen, did X2 happen, did Wolverine happen? We don't know. But in the grand scheme of things, when looking at Logan, it really doesn't matter too much, because this film can exist on its own and still make sly references to other films. It's just a bit confusing if you've been watching all of these films as they've been coming out.
For me, one of the biggest takeaways of Logan is that someone, writer, director, producer, can make a superhero movie that's actually a good film. And that's something that we don't really get much of. We love watching The Avengers and Winter Soldier and movies like that because they're action-packed and we get to see these guys doing all kinds of crazy stuff. And it's not that we don't get that in Logan, we do. But Logan stands above all of the other ones in my opinion because of the phenomenal acting, the great writing, the story itself was just so riveting. I mean, you were, for lack of a better term, on the edge of your seat the entire time. You were feeling all the feels along with the characters, and it was definitely, we've said it before, but it was definitely the darkest film of the franchise, possibly of any superhero, Marvel, or DC movie that we've seen to date.
Yeah, Hugh Jackman really pulls out all the stops. As we said before, it's a great send-off for him in this movie. And Patrick Stewart practically reinvents the character of Charles Xavier in this film. I don't think we've ever seen Charles Xavier act the way he acts in this movie. Like, never.
Ever. The biggest disappointment for me is not so much in the film, but it's the fact that these actors, these writers, these producers probably won't get the recognition they deserve come Oscar time. Because the Academy would most likely never nominate a superhero flick for Best Actor, Best Writer, or Best Director. Even though it's still early in the year, it's only March, this is one of the best films that I have seen all year. We've seen great action movies, we've seen great comedy movies, but as a complete film, this one, hands down, is my favorite so far.
To finish things off, definitely go see Logan. And if you've seen Logan already, or if you plan to go see it, come back. We have a question for you.
With Logan being the only R-rated film of the X-Men franchise, do you think that adding an R rating to the previous Wolverine movies would have added to them, or do you think it would have taken away from this movie?
Definitely let us know in the comments below, and enjoy the movie. We're probably going to go see it again.
Again.
Thanks a lot, guys.
And join us next time when we review the Emoji Movie.